And heading North Central football, and it is our Wetcher-proof Narraport legend, Ricky Lambert, back with us. G'day, Ricky. How are you?
Evening, Wayne. Yeah, good, thank you, mate. How are you going?
Yeah, really good. As always, interesting to see Interleague unfold for the North Central. They, on the Sea Lake home deck, weren't any match in the end at the senior level for a very powerful Sunraysia, who came back down and just took control and were able to knock your team over.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, jumped the gun in the first quarter. Sunraysia kicking 6 goals, so Valence kicking a couple out of Owen United, but it's good to see a couple of young kids from North Central coming up through the ranks, performing well. Will Sheen out of Birchip, so yeah, a club name there. Will's the son of Jim, and kicking 4 goals is a great effort in his first senior interleague appearance. But best on ground for North Central is the old fella in Ryan O'Sullivan, just keeps on keeping on. Kane Donnan played well down back, and Jack Poulton out of Sea Lake. So, yeah, good effort by North Central and Joel Donnan and the boys. So just come up a couple of goals short, but probably when you give a side a 4-goal head start at quarter time, it's always hard to peg him back from there.
Certainly was, and the boys from Sunraysia take the chocolates, as they say. But and what about the underage? Sunraysia really gave North Central a bit of a touch-up here. Tough outing. They've certainly, I guess, with the way they structure their football, they have under-18s and under-16s, whereas North Central, of course, you're 16, and after that you go into senior division. It probably has had an impact on the result, and probably the population issues too would have some impact on that scoreline.
Yeah, that's right, Wayne. We like to go for quality with our kids over quantity, but I think in this case, quantity certainly helps. And you've got a number of young kids playing that competitive level. Having an under-18s competition, it really does show on days like this. But the North Central boys tried hard, and Ty Lowry from Birchip Watching Bulls, he was best on ground. Ty's going to be a ripper. He's already playing a bit of senior footy. But yeah, he's got a lot of good years ahead of him for Birchip Watching.
All right, and of course, it's tough going for the league, but well done to put the side out there and to play interleague. I think it's important. A lot of that with the community football from the VFL viewpoint, the AFL Victoria, that hasn't kind of been a priority with the COVID situation, but I think even the year before that hasn't been. Ricky, I just thought before we head into this week's matches, we might just go through the table and have a look at where the clubs are at. In the senior division, we've got to Sea Lake and Daly undefeated up the top. Wedderburn get them this week. We'll talk about that in a moment. They're in second place. Birchip Watcham 3-2. They've just edged their way up. Bought at 2-3, the big supplies. Charlton next at 2-3, and then Donald at 1-3, and a draw. Richie and St Arnaud at the bottom and 1-4 each. Just get a feeling that this weekend's pivotal.
You could probably lock away the top 3 sides. I reckon they're going to be playing finals in Birchip, Wedderburn and Sea Lake. After that, Wayne, that 4th spot, I reckon you could nearly raffle it off from the early signs I've seen in the league, and it'll be, who can get their side on the park, who can be fittest and have the best form leading in. I know a couple of sides are coming, dealing with injuries, just having the year off, especially a couple of the old timers at Witchproof Narraport. Just a few injuries are starting to hurt, but it is great to see a bit of excitement that I reckon that 4th position won't be solved until the last round.
I reckon it's been interesting this year. We know that in 2019 in reserve grade, Sea Lake had the depth. They went right through the club with that depth. But this year in their reserves, they're down in 6th place at 1-4. Oh, that's the interesting one for me. I mean, St Arnaud have always got solid reserve sides, and so do Wedderburn. They're in the top 4, both of those sides. Birchip Watcham, though, 5-0. Bought in 3rd place, which is a credit to them. And then after that, it's anyone's guess who's going to get 4th place.
Yeah, that's right. Birchip really leading the way. So they're led pretty well, Birchip. They've got a couple of guys around that 28, 30 years of age. Matt Ryan playing at full forwards, kicking a lot of goals. And I see there may be a position vacant in the senior team for him if he's wanting to make the step up. But they're 5-0 and probably leading the way in terms of seconds. And I'll get a first-hand look at that tomorrow, I think.
Certainly. Well, what about these 16-year-old kids? Borta, always good, and were when they had the 13-year-olds 2 or 3 years ago. Now they are up top of the table in the 16-year-olds. Sea Lake and Daly, they've the last year's or 2019 defending premier, they had some good kids coming through their 13-year-old age group. They're in second. St Arnaud have always got good juniors, and Birchip are interesting here too. They've played the 5 games, whereas St Arnaud have only had the 4, and I think Birchip are going okay. But gee, the big surprise, Donald in 5th place. They're normally in this age bracket pretty strong.
Yeah, they are, Wayne. That as growing up and seeing the junior league for 25 years now. So you could usually bank on Donald and Tanana being right up there at the top. So that is a bit of a shock, but it does ebb and flow, and I'm sure Donald in a couple of years' time or a year's time will be back where they usually are in the junior ranks. I'd Sea Lake's probably a surprise to me. They've got a couple of good kids there about that 16 years of age, and I know Joel Donald's been blooding a few up as well, so a few of them might have other priorities other than under 16 footy. So, that'll come down to finals and, fitness and form in finals again.
Will be, as you mentioned, Donald will turn again. They're on top of the under 13, so that might be not that far away, Ricky. It's an Arnold second, Charlton third at both 4 and 1, and then Sea Lake and Daly at 3 and 2. They've got some good kids. Bort, probably the big surprise. They've under 13s this year down at 5th place. Birchip Watcham, I thought they might be a bit higher up than where they are at 6th, and then of course Wedderburn in the next place on the table.
So with the under-13s, as I said, it goes in ebbs and flows. You get good crews coming through, and Donald in the under-13s, so they'll bounce back up in the under-16s probably, if not next year, definitely be the year after, I would have thought.
I reckon they've got a good group of kids together. Let's go to this weekend's matches. Round 6 action. Ricky Allen, this is going to be an absolute ripping round. There's some terrific games to be played. Bort have shown us at home that they're very good, and they should get over the top of St Arnaud.
Yeah, they should. It'll be about their ability to shut down St Arnaud's forward line. So when we played St Arnaud, I noticed that when they got the ball forward, they scored. So it makes a huge difference when you're kicking them straight. So Tom Douglas up there will take a bit of stopping. I expect either Jack Smith or Kieran Wilson to go to him, and they're quality defenders, Wayne. So if they can get on top of him, which I think they will, it'll make it very difficult for St Arnaud to score. And Bort with Chisatali in the middle, I can't see Bort losing this one at home.
All right, now, there's a lot of rivalry here, particularly for you Narraport people on the road to Birchip and that magnificent skiing lake that they've got there just out of the Birchip town on the Witcherproof side. It'll be a beautiful day, and at George Cartwright Oval, a big crowd between rivals, Birchip Watcham and Witcherproof. I'm going to pick the Bulls to rage away and take this home.
Yeah, I'll get a good look at Birchip Watcham tomorrow, Wayne. They've been setting the standard now for a few years, Birchip, in terms of the players they can bring into the league, but also their up-and-coming juniors. Really happy to see Ty Glary get the medal in the under-18. So get to see him at senior level, but also Will Sheen as well, as we spoke about, kicking those 4 goals. So that's what will be bringing the Birchip people through the gates tomorrow, to see those young kids who've come through the ranks who are going well. For Witchproof, mate, if we could... so again, Wedderburn, if we last about 15 minutes before we're back down to 18. So just really being hurt with injuries, but that probably comes with a bit of age and probably a bit of fitness as well. So, I'm going with Birchip, Wayne, as much as it hurts to say, but I can't see Witchproof getting the chocolates on this occasion.
Castellano on your goal-kicking watch?
Yes, he is. Yep. He'll have a good day tomorrow. I'm going 7 for Castellano. He always kicks goals against us. We'll be trying to get a match up for him, but it is quite hard.
Yeah, Bo Bish maybe has to be relinquished off half-back. Henneman needs to kick a bag of goals for Witcherproof in being a big recruit to the club. What about this? This is going to be match of the round for mine. Donald played Charlton. It's Royals versus Navies. This is at Donald. And look, if ever Donald have to win a game, they've got this thing of just getting close. I reckon they're better than where they are on the table, and they need to win this game against Charlton, and the Navies will come out hunting.
Yeah, they will. Charlton got that great win over Bort at home a couple of weeks ago, so their confidence will be nice and high. Donald, they've got a couple of quality recruits in that just aren't clicking, and will happen at some stage. Rowan Brown will be trying different things to get that chemistry, flowing for the Royal Blues. And I think this weekend, Wayne, if it doesn't work, it's a bit of a D-Day. You could probably nearly put a line through 4 spots for Donald. So in saying that, I'm going to be tipping Donald. I reckon that they've just got too much on the line to be dropping this game at home.
I reckon you're right. Darcy Harrison, a really good player over many years. McGough's very good for them too. They've got to get it to Seamus, who's not so young, and then they've got to bend it like Beckham if they can to get a win out of this weekend. Maybe they will. What about Sea Lake and Daly Tigers? They get their first real challenge, I reckon. They've got Wedderburn coming up there. Can the Redbacks bite the Tiger?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the majority of Sea Lake boys put their hand up last week for the Interleague, which is great to see. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back, whether they're a bit sore from Interleague. I know Some players tend to like the week off to freshen up. Personally, I like to keep rolling and get that finals intensity early in the year. So I reckon Sea Lake, if they don't benefit from it this week, they will in weeks to come, which they don't need a lot of help. But yeah, up there, Wayne. I think if the game was in Wedderburn, we may see a closer result, but I reckon once we get up to Sea Lake, I don't think they're going to drop a game at home this year. I'd be surprised if they do. Just the way that Joel's got them all structured. They know each other's game inside out, where to turn, where to kick to. When you've got the likes of Delmenico, Elliott, the two Donnan boys on the ball, so Trent and Wade, but then also Kane and Donnan and Luke Martin down back. They're pretty, there's not a lot of gaps in that side. They've got the young kids coming through now. I think they'll be too strong for Wedderburn. Wedderburn will be relying on Rosengren in the middle, so I had a good look at him a couple of weeks ago, and he's very impressive. Well-built, midfielder. He'll take a bit of stopping, but I don't think he can do it all on his own. I reckon Sea Lake's depth will be too good for him.
Hargraves needs to get going, and the Lockhart lad is a good player. The Holt boys kick some goals, but on with you. The Tigers will be too good up there on the home deck. Good to have you back on board this week, Ricky Allen, the school teacher from Witcherproof. Looking forward to seeing how they go against their old foe in Birchip, and who knows, you might just be able to stop by at the lake on the way home and jump in the lake if you haven't gone real well, Ricky.
Yeah, a bit early recovery, Wayne. There's usually been a few losing bets or something like that that's made it a quick dip on the way home, but this time of the year it's actually not too bad at the moment, nice and warm, so the lake might be all right.
Might be some water skiing happening instead. Great stuff, mate. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, Wayne.